the NBA season is officially, on its way to resuming. There's actual path and an actual, they're actually facilitating everything. There's a whole process of everything going on. So the last time we spoke, there was nothing confirmed. Now we got the actual NBA bubble. Mans are actually entered the bubble. The Raptors entered the bubble. Mans are looking homeless. Some mans did a 1-2 shave. You know what I mean?
I do want to say the Raptors made a great entry. I loved the bus. Black Lives Matter.
The Raptors bus?
Yep.
So if you haven't seen, they did a Black
There
Lives
needs to be
Matter
an applause, bro. Like,
know,
where's the applause? The NBA season. Yes, sir.
Okay.
NBA is back. NBA is back. You know what I mean?
All right, so, we give the applause a 1-2 time, you feel me? He was waiting for that, you know what I mean? But, like we said, the NBA bubble has officially started in Disneyland or Disney World, wherever in Orlando. So, we're going to talk about that. So, there's been a lot of things going on through social media, having a whole uproar and creating this whole wave. J.R. Smith, got that flag from the NBA. Stop showing too much. You're showing too much. You got that flag. So we're going to go through everything. So J.R. Smith with the creme brulee. You already know. He was amped, he was posting. He was posting all the guys, getting their deliveries because they've been quarantined. When did they come in? It was Thursday night. They officially came in. Some guys like Kawhi, Russell Westbrook just broke out that he has COVID. James Harden, and, a couple people, Nikola Jokic. A couple people haven't entered the bubble yet, but they will be within, a couple of days or a week or whatever the case is joining their team. But for the most,
it's probably Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart gave it to Westbrook.
Everybody, for the most part, has joined the bubble. All the teams, the Raptors, all the teams, 22 teams that have been playing have joined the bubble, doing the practice courts and starting, the training and all that type of stuff. But again, so we'll start with the living conditions. The living conditions that they've been posting. Once they entered the bubble, Myers Leonard, some of these guys are bringing their game in there. They gave him the PCs, they're bringing the sticks. You already know you got to go on that 2K. LeBron was on 2K last night with who, AD and, Quinn Cook. They were, looking atrocious, no stick skills, but I don't expect them to. You know what I'm saying? But, there's a couple people that are enjoying the bubble, but then you have a lot of people on the negative side, like Rondo posting that it's like looking like a Motel 6. You have, some of the Mavs loving it, Luka, Toby and Bobby reunited. A lot of things are happening that are fun, but at the end of the day, that's been what's going on. We've basically been seeing what the bubble's looking like. So what's y'all opinion on the actual bubble itself? Just before we're going to go into a lot of things with the bubble, but the first thing of the living conditions. What do you think of the living conditions itself? Do you think it's atrocious? Is it looking good? How do you feel? Both of y'all, let me know.
Yuck.
When I was, I was saving you so that you could have your reaction afterwards.
Go ahead.
But man, I remember, I think I was like 12 years old, either 12 or 13. And my family told me that we were going to Disney World. And I was so excited. You know what I mean? Because you hear Disney, that's every kid's dream. The magical kingdom, all that. And I've never been more disappointed in my life. Like, Disney World was whack. It was so whack. It was so whack. Like, I was so jealous of my sisters who went to Universal Studios. This is when I was like 12, 13, something like that.
That's why you're too old.
You were grown.
Right?
You going to Disney World at 12?
12?
Why not?
Bro, it's an amusement park, bro. It's an amusement park, bro. And I still like Disney movies, so I don't understand, bro.
Only black
It was whack.
But
this is the thing, right? I think a part of it is everybody's hearing the word Disney, and it has brand equity, right? When you hear that name, there's a certain amount of credibility that comes with that name, right? When you hear Disney, you already are expecting a certain standard, right? But that being stated, I know, so in my mind, I knew it wasn't going to be like crazy fancy because I went to Disney World.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So I know kind of, no, I probably wasn't at this. As a matter of fact, I definitely wasn't at the suite that these guys are at. Yeah. But I have a general idea of what it kind of looks like, what it feels like, unless things had changed drastically, right? So to me, I'm not surprised that for these, multi-millionaires, like these guys are rich. You see what I'm saying? These guys are filthy rich. These guys are not the type to go to Holiday Inn and think, oh, that's a decent spot.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like Rondo called his hotel room a Motel 6,
Disrespectful.
bro. Do you know what a Motel 6, like what a motel looks like, bro? Like that's the type of thing you enter and you're afraid you're gonna get bed bugs. You see what I'm saying?
There was cockroaches there though.
Noah.
There was cockroaches.
No, we'll get to it.
There was cockroaches. There was cockroaches.
In Rondo's room?
No, there was other players that showed cockroaches.
A 1-2, but I mean,
I don't care what you say.
So,
there's cockroaches.
I just think
not Motel 6, though.
I think it's disrespectful. I think the NBA players have to remember that there's 22 teams.
So
how many people are on the team?
So
hold on,
a minimum of 15.
Minimum of 15. I'm not a math wizard, but you do the math. To find accommodation for that many players alone, you're not going to run into every single room being squeaky clean. Let's be real. That place was shut down prior to COVID.
Yeah.
Okay? So they're even working on opening certain facilities. I think the NBA players have to realize, one, remember where you came from. Like, there has to be a level of some sort of humility and professionalism. Like, you can complain, but to put it on social media like that when your employers are trying to do what they need to do to get you guys playing, I think it's disrespectful. Two, the quarantine conditions are only for 48 hours. Yeah. So the food that you're getting, brace yourself. It's only for 2 days. Like, you guys can survive that. And to be honest, that's the food that everyday people like us are eating.
But
like,
not me.
Yeah, and I do want to comment on the Tupperware because I heard, oh, look at it, it's in Tupperware and it's contained. Yeah. Coming from a infection control side of things,
exactly,
they can't be putting the food splattered on plates like that. They need to contain it for infection control purposes.
On plates.
But there were people complaining about it.
Just make it look good.
But Noah,
good.
Like, how can you make
everything look like it was microwaved? Everything looked.
But Noah,
that chicken looked like
that's the 48 hours.
But that's for 48 hours. Y'all are acting like you're in prison for the rest of the next few weeks.
Yeah, and they compared it to prison.
Yeah, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful.
That's why what Jay Williams was saying was definitely on point. So
tone deaf.
So yeah, let's play that clip real quick.
And that's why I think Rondo got injured, because that's a bit of karma.
Wow.
Who knows if
Voodoo auntie.
I mean, you're gonna complain, so God was like, all right, let me sit you up for a minute.
Let's play that clip.
Wow.
NBA players cannot be tone deaf. My NBA brothers, you cannot be tone deaf right now in this current environment. We all know the life that NBA players live. You are blessed. Get a chance to be in private planes. You get a chance to have millions of dollars in your bank account. You live a different level of life. But that is drastically different than what real, everyday working Americans are going through right now. Now, you're in $1 billion bubble. If you want to complain about the anxieties you have from COVID-related issues, I get it. Complain about that. We all have the right to complain about that. But when I hear NBA guys complaining about living facilities, food that they have being delivered to them, it is tone deaf. It is tone deaf. I want you to think about people who are everyday working people who are making minimum wage, trying to make ends meet, that are going to factories, that are going to really harsh working environments, where if anything, maybe their employers are doing less to ensure their safety because they're trying to increase the bottom line. They're trying to earn and make money back from all the money that they lost through the times that a lot of these states, individually governed, have been dealing with this issue. So when I see guys that are going into $1 billion bubble, $1 billion bubble, and are getting food delivered to them, they have beds to sleep in, you can't complain about that. Not while you're making millions of dollars, not while your employer is going through drastic measures to protect you while they're still paying you. When that's not the case for everyday, real working Americans. That bothers me. That bothers me. I don't know if individual teams and their PRs, their PR team, public relations teams are working with these guys, but they have.
So I want to hear Noah's point. Why are you going?
Go ahead.
I don't know what.
You're supposed to let it go. Bam, bam, bam,
I don't know what kind of what.
Yes, man. You're supposed to let let the
I thought you were gonna
go.
talk. That's why
man.
I just allowed it.
No.
This man out here like
No.
a West Indian
Allowed it.
uncle.
That's you already know. You already know, man. You gotta hit him with the. I don't have the gunshot yet. It's coming. You feel me?
Goodness. Sounding like it's
that was
so
a shout out,
bad.
you know, to Jay Williams for his 1-2. You feel me? But yeah, go ahead. What's your thought on that? Because remember, we have to take into account $1 billion is being spent.
I don't care.
How much could they actually take out of that money to give to, okay, you know what, give you the most elite rooms, especially when you're in a facility and a place and a location that already is established.
And the timing, right?
Yeah.
Because how much time do you, it's one thing if you're starting a league knowing this, you know, in advance, and the league is coming years down the line to where you can prepare in advance to have the types of facilities and the structure and the things of that nature that you know that these, you know, rich people would be comfortable with. It's another thing when you literally have like a month to scramble together to find the best case scenario so that you can at least make something for a season where not only would the owners have lost money, but the players would have lost money, right? The cap. Like, look at the cap. Like, you realize people that used to play in the NBA used to have to work at no frills too? You see what I'm saying? So the amount of money that you're making now, right, and the projection that the cap is supposed to go in is not going to continue going in that same projection. It's going to at least take a dip if you don't find some way to make some money back to finish the season, to get some more games up, right? Yeah. So everybody has to sacrifice. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know,
it's priorities.
Just before, like, you know, my point was done. That's what I was getting to. I know it's not going to be the most luxurious place, but you have to keep in mind what it is that you're trying to do. You see what I'm saying? And just before Noah speaks, what Jay Will is talking about goes back to show that at the end of the day, Kyrie was even more right than what people thought he was, yo.
Exactly.
Because you guys that were saying that you wanted to take all this time to focus on Black Lives Matter and that if the bubble reopens, that, you know, what's going to happen is the attention is going to be drawn away from that onto other things, right? And we're thinking that, oh, he's talking about like the basketball games. No. It actually ended up just being you guys just acting ignorant.
Facts.
Right? You're going into the bubble and then you're acting completely tone deaf to the situation that's happening across the world.
Facts.
Right? And now everybody's talking about the fact that you're complaining that the food that you're receiving is in Tupperware.
Do you know creme brulee is trending more than Black Lives Matter?
I know. That's why they haven't even played a game yet. Man, haven't even played a game yet.
Stay woke.
That's what was going to happen, yo.
Yeah, go ahead. What's your thought on the bubble? Because I know you.
First of all,
Bougie, Mr.
Of course,
Bougie.
bad and bougie. Get it correct. Okay, first of all, they should have done it in Vegas. That was one of the top spots that we're going to have it.
Okay.
Disneyland did not deserve these mans. Did not. It is the most budget place. Every man who's been to Disney knows his budget. Every man knows that. Even the crews, every man knows his budget. Disney. Now, if you go to Vegas, every man knows if you go to Vegas, you could definitely isolate, especially where the strip is. Those resorts are massive. They could have done it off of 2 hotel rooms alone. 2 like massive resorts. The MGM resort or the other ones.
Probably way more money though.
No, it's not way more money because they wanted to have them there.
But I think
the only reason why it works in chorus for the NBA is because Disney owns ESPN. ESPN gave a lot of money, so it's all in-house. That's the only reason why they looked at that, because they did. One of the finalists was definitely Vegas. Vegas was one of the finalists. Too, right? And Chicago. I'm telling you, if this happened in Vegas, these guys will not have no problem. Especially how the resorts are in Vegas. You've been to Vegas. They're fire. Everything is nice.
But you have to keep in mind, too, one of the things that they're afraid of is, remember, they're trying to contain a virus, right?
Disney World is open now. They're not containing nothing.
Just hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay, these guys are like 7 foot. Most of them can't even go on a roller coaster, even if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay?
Word.
Like when you talk about the threat for potentially people going off site in Orlando, and you compare that to the threat of people going off site in Las Vegas, those are 2 completely different
I was
things,
gonna say
bro.
the same thing.
No.
Yeah.
Bro, I literally didn't get hired as a pastor in Las Vegas because they said I wasn't married. And they were like, you can't be not married and be working as no pastor in Vegas.
It's
Because
harder to contain.
it's, bro, like that,
It's true.
for the same reason that
Yes,
you're
it's
saying.
called Sin City for a reason. I understand.
And that's the reason why, especially.
But just keep the sin in the bubble. That's
But
what
the
I'm saying.
whole point of this
No.
thing is to
contain.
be able to play basketball
Yeah.
while keeping everybody as safe as possible.
Yeah.
So why would you go to the most tempting place on earth, arguably? Like if you're
Okay,
you're
so
talking
here's-
about Las
so here's
Vegas
my
and
question.
Amsterdam.
So here's my question. They can't bring their loved ones or their significant others.
Right.
Yeah, and now you're gonna
Yes.
bring them to
Hold on.
Vegas, the home of prostitution.
At least men will release.
And Noah.
At least.
Nah.
Testosterone levels will go down.
Is your
Yes.
brother this
You're
serious,
making
bro?
those. It's not about. It's about the
What?
corona. It's
Have
about
you
corona.
ever tried to live life like that?
It's about
Tense?
corona.
It's about Corona.
Tense? Being on the ball
No,
court,
man, you're
tense?
being ridiculous,
Yeah.
man.
Men's
You're
just
being
post up
ridiculous.
on you?
But you're just proving
Stop
the whole
it.
point.
It's not.
So now you want men to be going sleeping with pros, and then they're coming to check you up, bro? After
Stop.
that girl, she done slept with many men. many men.
And
Like, come on,
Noah,
bro.
and you know these
I'm
players
okay with
aren't
that.
listening.
I'm okay with that. They
One-
all have
one-
beer
sharing
girls.
germs.
Yeah.
One girl already tweeted an NBA player tried to invite her to the Orlando
No, she got
bubble.
invited. She said she got invited.
Exactly. So how
They
much
added
more
the man
Vegas?
that they're like, oh, you brought your girl? And she's like, no, a different man sent me the invite. Then the whole world is going wild and trying to find out who. I'm not going to say his name, not going to put him on blast because I respect your
Exactly.
privacy.
And I think too in Vegas, the city is trying to also reopen, especially the
Yeah, but
casinos.
Florida had 15,000 cases
Yeah.
yesterday alone.
Yeah.
That is a good point though. But that's outside the bubble though too. Right?
That's true.
What? But the workers don't. The workers are outside the bubble. All those people are outside the bubble. The only people quarantined are players. That's it. So it doesn't make sense. If you quarantined everybody, all the workers, the chefs, everyone is quarantined, makes sense. But it's not. It's only the players that are the ones that are really giving a full-fledged sacrifice. The players and their organization.
Yeah,
that
but
they're at.
they're monitoring them pretty well, very well.
Yeah.
Especially with the everyday
on.
testing. When you come in, you have to self-quarantine. That's why they're delivering to them.
Mhm.
But what
enter the
what if you're
bubble.
asymptomatic
What is that? What?
or whatever? What's the word?
No, but they're
Noah.
tested when they come in.
Ha! Ha!
But they're not. But they're tested every day.
So I think
Yeah,
the
they're
word
test-
Noah meant to say is asymptomatic.
Yeah,
but
you know
carry on.
what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Hooked on
But
phonics.
they're-
Shout
but
out.
They're
Shout out
tested
to
every day,
educational system.
regardless. Regardless, like once they get into the bubble, that's why they had to deliver to their door because they're quarantined for the first 48 hours
Yeah,
or
but I'm
whatever.
saying the
And the
workers
thing-
as
and
well.
the
I'm
thing
saying the
your
workers.
testing is every day.
But
You
they're
get-
testing the workers, no?
That's it. They're
Yeah,
testing
they're
them.
but doesn't
testing
it take
the
12
workers
hours?
regularly.
It takes 12 hours though
The
to
diff-
actually
but
get
they're
to
being
find out.
tested every day.
Yeah.
So
But it
the
takes 12 hours. You can work a whole shift and
But
give
the
out
people
COVID and
that
come
were-
home.
No, you got to use IQ. The people that were working there, they were in the bubble from time.
Yeah.
before players
Nah.
came.
Yeah.
So they've probably been
They
tested.
still go back home. They still go back home.
I don't know how true for all.
I don't
the
know how
they
people
true
do,
that is.
They
I don't
don't
know.
live there. They go
don't know
back
how
Does it
true
take
home.
it
does
is.
it take 12 hours to see
Yes.
whether or
Yes,
not somebody
yeah,
actually
yeah,
has it?
yeah.
So they can
But-
do a whole shift.
But I'm saying they've
It
been.
don't matter.
I'm saying I don't think the NBA would have every single worker be going in and out,
Yeah,
going home because it makes no sense.
I think
They've
essential
been
workers
sent-
are staying
the
in the
people that are
bubble.
going in and
They're not.
going home is probably people that don't even have contact
They're
with
not.
them.
NBA
That's why
players.
You know
That's
what
why
I'm saying?
Damian Lillard brought it up. They're not. The workers are not. The workers get to live life.
Well, regardless, they're monitoring the NBA players OD.
But-
The workers too. I don't know how much in contact they are, the players with the players. I don't know how that situation is. I don't know.
And you have to remember too, right? They're not saying that now that you're in this bubble, you can live as if there's no COVID-19.
Yeah, you still
Yeah,
have to move.
you
You
still-
still wear
You
masks.
still have to wear masks.
Yeah,
you still have to
move.
sanitize your hands at all
Yeah, you're
times.
still moving,
Do you see what I'm
like,
saying? And at the end of the day, what happens is if one of these workers, right, gets sick, you know, God forbid, if one of them were to get sick, and let's say now they're not able to come into the bubble anymore, that person can be replaced.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Facts.
James Harden can't be replaced.
Right.
Right?
Facts.
There's nobody who's going to step up and take James, like the fact that Russell Westbrook, you know, was diagnosed with corona,
Yeah.
that cannot be replaced.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? That there's no, like, when the next guy comes off the bench to replace Russell, nobody cares.
Exactly.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, yeah,
But when this guy, when the guy who's, you know, in the kitchen, or the lady who's, you know, I don't know, fixing the lights, or whoever,
yeah, they could be replaced.
right?
Yeah.
It doesn't affect the actual product of the entertainment that's being put on display. Do you see what I'm saying? Ultimately, we have to remember, right? Like, this is not going to be a perfect situation.
Exactly.
Right? Any of us, if we were put in the position to choose how to go about handling this, we wouldn't do it perfectly. But they have to be able to do the best with what they have. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm.
They got to do the best with what they have, and everybody has to work together to try to come to something that's actually going to work to the benefit of everyone, which is actually the benefit of their money.
It's about putting the show. At the end of the day, it's about putting the show, and, you know, the product on the floor, having that all on. Because remember, they gotta pay for the branding. They gotta pay for actually the workers to install the courts, all the courts they had to install. Because remember, it's not like it's an NBA venue. They turned it into an NBA venue, right? So they have to pay for all of that. Like, money's going out all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like,
I don't care.
Again to the point of the accommodations, like. That's why I rate the Patrick Beverleys, the Lou Williams, the Myers Leonard, making the best of what you're making the best of the situation, because at the end of the day, you complaining, like, you gotta understand, you're in a bubble for 3 months. There's good things too. You don't have to travel. You don't have to travel all the time to, like, I heard some people have been saying, you don't have to travel all the time for the playoff games. You can just go to your room, rest, come back the next day and run the games. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of positives.
But were you resting when you got cockroaches?
And let's be real, if you don't like it, you can leave.
They said you could leave, but then if you leave and you get COVID, your team you don't play. And then you know stuff.
Pick your poison.
Oh, you know what? Actually, hold on. Let me write this down as a note. Let me keep this.
But you're wealthy enough, no?
Nah, no one's that wealthy. No one's that wealthy to leave M's. You can't leave M's on the table.
Exactly. So take what you get.
So you gotta.
But here, what it comes down to at the same time, have you ever told your mechanic, if you had a Benz or your Acura, you have an Acura, have you ever told your mechanic that, hey, I just want to put regular gas into my Acura?
Bro, so that's out of context.
It's not out of context.
No, where are you going with this?
It's not out of context. Because at the end of the day,
I really don't understand
where is he going?
the way that
he's saying because the
players are this caliber.
Yes, they are. They are not average human beings.
They're not. That's understood.
The average,
but they've
what?
No, let's
look at the BME.
Let's not act like these players are not eating McDonald's and Burger King and trash outside the bubble.
Let's be real. They can
survive 2 days.
80% of these players have personal chefs.
First 48 hours.
I don't care. Then let me see what the rest is. I'm just saying, show me the rest.
Yo, you're
right
tripping.
Now,
you're tripping. You're tripping.
Don't put them out there and tell them to practice.
You're tripping.
If you're gonna feed them like this,
that's terrible.
You're acting like
not right.
First of all, they're already being catered to OD. The fact that man's are getting delivery.
Why is it about catering?
There's all kinds of stuff that's happening.
How's it about catering? They're the product. They are the product.
I get it. I get, obviously, they've been bougie. They have a certain chef. They have a certain lifestyle, and it's hard to maintain
they are the
it.
product.
But you're in a situation that is not regular.
Okay,
yeah.
So what if LeBron James and those guys are now showing career lows in their stats? What are you going to say? What are you going to say about the product?
No, stop this.
What are you going to say about
if they're showing career lows in their stats, don't tell me you're elite. Tell me the food is elite. Don't come act like you're elite.
You gotta fuel the body.
Yes, you
gotta
fuel the body.
You gotta have every man has custom mattresses.
Hold on.
I hear you.
I hear
Look what
you're
they're sleeping on.
What I hear what you're saying.
No, it's disrespect.
Last point. I hear what you're saying. At the end of the day, if someone is averaging 26 points per game, and now I get a lower tier version of my food, and I'm dropping my points to 18, you were never nice. So
thank you.
Stop this. At the end of the day, you
guys,
you have this. Bro, this is not Popeye the Taylor Man. This is not. I pour spinach. This is not Popeye, bro. This is basketball, bro. What are you talking about, bro? This is not a Gatorade commercial, bro. I don't drink the Gatorade, and all of a sudden I drop 10 feet, bro.
Yes.
Like, come on, fam.
It's real. Why would I lose money? If you're gonna bring me here, take care of me.
Y'all were like rah.
They are.
No, they're not. That is gross. Ugh.
Ugh. What?
Yo, this is so ungrateful, bro.
This
is why Lucifer fell out of heaven. You're in heaven. Relax.
And you're
Like,
getting
bruh.
paid.
Mans are getting
It's
paid.
not-
Like
it's
I
not
understand,
good.
obviously being
Not
bougie,
good.
and like
Nah,
you're
it's
used
not
to
about being
something,
bougie.
but to
I'm getting hot.
complain to that
It's about your
magnitude,
performance. Talk to
No,
Bruh.
what? 2
Oh,
days
stop it.
of that
I know
food
food
is
has
not
to be the other
food. Show me
decreasing
the other
their
food. Just show me the other
performance.
food.
You have to
When
speak
mans
one at
catch
a time.
diarrhea and start pooing, we'll see.
Diarrhea
That's-
from what? You're acting like they're at the back eating Taco Bell, bro.
Don't diss Taco Bell like that. Do not diss
Come
Taco
on,
Bell.
bro.
Do not diss
Yeah.
Taco Bell. Nah.
like they're so,
Trash.
like look at the fact that it was
Ugh.
separated, that the watermelons, like obviously it's fugazi food compared to what they're eating, but
They're-
they're eating high premium.
Queso.
You're acting like you're
That's it,
getting,
thank you.
like you're just
No.
you're getting good
They're
food
getting
still.
No.
It's not fugazi food.
I
You're
saw
not getting fast food.
salad. I
You
saw
the same mans that
chicken.
mans catch them
No,
at fast
Bro, first of all, that chicken that they were eating, they killed the chicken in the back.
Trash.
That's fresh. That's fresh killed chicken.
Nah, yo. It's first of all, it's
Chicken was
America. That's not
singing,
fresh.
you know
That's
what I mean?
steroid. That chicken was full of steroid.
Bruh.
It was not organic. That chicken was not organic. It was not grass fed.
Nah, at the end of the day,
That
like
chicken
bruh,
was-
it's not the way they're making it as serious as it is.
No, it is serious.
Now, if they were getting, that's another topic I want to talk about, the WNBA. If they're getting that kind of treatment,
Trap house
Then-
laundry room.
then that-
Yes,
different.
I don't know what they did.
the WNBA, that's reckless.
I
don't
didn't see
know
that.
what
I didn't even
was
see
that.
it.
So bad.
But
So,
I'm not surprised.
but okay, so this is what I want to ask. I get so for one, when I saw the WNBA living conditions, it was trash. Like I could even say that was horrible. There was like a mouse trap up in the laundry room. There was cockroach. It was very
God.
bad.
What?
Yeah.
Mouse trap and
It looked
and
like it
cockroaches?
looked like a trap house in the projects. Like it looked
Yeah.
so bad.
It's definitely government houses.
Now, a lot of people are saying the WNBA shouldn't be even thinking about
About having
complaining
a
because they don't make shit.
Yeah.
They don't make money.
And they only have a 2-month season, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
but at the end of the day, it's about
that's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful. You can't put them
Yeah,
in
yeah.
like
You can't do that
it's-
to them.
Yeah, you can't be putting them in like that's atrocious. Like that. At the end of the day, it's
I
not
didn't
even
see,
about
so
the
I can't
WNBA.
speak
It's
on
what you're representing. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? What you're
right.
showing it's like brand work. At the end of the day, even if you want to pump fake and all this type of stuff and put them in the most elite stuff, people, WNBA got treated. And at the end of the day, it's like you're doing even worse when you put them in a fugazi situation. And then they're only going to post it on social media and complain.
Exactly.
Then you have to now do an extra, PR. And all this.
Exactly.
It
And
makes
that's
no
the
sense.
problem.
That's being tone deaf with them.
yeah.
And it's women too.
Yeah.
And black women.
Why is
in
it
this
tone deaf by
situation,
them?
like,
Why is it
yeah.
tone deaf by them? Why should they live like that?
it's tone deaf.
No.
No,
He's saying by the NBA, the league.
WNBA.
Make sure you say that.
Yeah, the league.
You
That's
didn't
what
say
everybody knew that's what he meant.
Nah,
Right?
nah.
So